Hey folks, it's Matt once again, and welcome back to a DVD, I guess it's in a Blu-ray update. Right off the bat, I did order a couple things. Two books that I'll showcase. I got one, the other one should be coming in the mail, and I just ordered it recently, so it'll be a week or two. I'll probably show those two books off when I get the second one in. And then I did recently order, and since I mention a lot in these videos and mention stuff so that I remember better in my head, the DVD of Super Mario Brothers from overseas that should be the special edition that has features, because there's a DVD in the UK of Super Mario Bros. That has features, including a new hour-long documentary. And since that was from overseas, that's going to take a while. That's going to take at least to the middle of March to get here. So hopefully it'll come in safely, considering it's winter time and the mail, you never know. And hopefully it's the right one, that they don't mistakenly send, the wrong one. But, I ordered that. And then other stuff that I got. I mentioned that I would be getting this film, John Wick, and I did get the Blu-ray. Really enjoy this film. Have not watched the features yet, which has commentary with the directors, some featurettes. Not sure if I'll review this film again, because I have reviewed this film in the videos called like John Wick is Badass, and I know I really love the film, so I don't know if I'll do another review. Maybe for shits and giggles. We'll see. This was sent to me by a very nice guy, and actually he sent this to me, I'll be honest. He sent me a few stuff in the past, which you'll see reviews later down the road of them. When I show those DVDRs, not DVDRs, but DVDs from overseas of Vampire Lovers, Jason and the Argonauts, City of Lost Children. He had mentioned that he actually ordered something off my Amazon wish list, which was very nice of him. He ordered the Season 3 Part 1 of the new Ninja Turtles cartoon, which comes out in March. March 10th or sometime in March. So around when that arrives, I'll review those films for him. And the reason I mentioned that he had, in the meantime, got this. And I didn't do it on packaging because I knew this was coming because I had asked, because he had sent me a message on Facebook that he would actually send this to me, and if I could review a couple of these for him in the meantime before I get to those in later March. I know it's March now, but later in March. I'm like, sure. And he asked for reviews of Horror of Dracula and Dracula AD 1972, which I think those are actually the two with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. So I'm not a big Hammer guy, and that's only because I have not seen a lot of Hammer films. I've seen the documentary on Hammer films, which I liked, which I saw online a long time ago. But heard a lot about these, especially Horror of Dracula, Dracula AD 1972. I've heard bad things about, but at the same time, there's a lot of movies that people don't like that I do like, so we'll see. But I'm curious about it, so I'm not sure when I'll upload this video, so I don't know if I've already reviewed them or if they'll be reviewed very soon, though, as soon as I can. The other two, Dracula Has Risen from the Grave and Taste the Blood of Dracula, I don't know if I'll review those. He specifically asked for the Horror Dracula in AD 1972. And there's a lot of stuff I want to get to, not just to review, but also just to watch. But I'll at least review those two from him, because he didn't have to send this. He did. He obviously wants my thoughts on it. And plus, he ordered something on my wish list. I'm like, wow, that's no problem. When someone's nice enough to do that, that's no problem at all. So I want to thank David for that. Very kind of him to do so. And then a couple stuff that I got, because they were pretty cheap. Couple wrestling stuff and two movies. The Triumph and Tragedy of World Class Championship Wrestling, which one disc set, pretty interesting. I mean, to look into these promotions, and I have a bunch of them. I have the AWA one, Rise and Fall of WCW, so on and so forth. Very interesting stories about that time and the territories of wrestling. Legends of Mid-South Wrestling, which pretty much the title speaks for itself as to what it's about. And yeah, in the old days where you had people like the Freebirds, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Junkyard Dog, Ted DiBiase. It has Jake the Snake Roberts on the cover, but really he's not in it that much. It's only one match of his in this. It's him versus the Snowman. And the only thing special is that Muhammad Ali was in attendance at this match, but that's it. So it's weird. Ted DiBiase is not in this at all. He's not... Like, some of these wrestlers are given a chapter for themselves, not Jake the Snake Roberts. And he only has one match. So it's weird that he's on the cover. But yet they don't have a segment on him. And like Ted DiBiase has a segment, Butch Reed, Junkyard Dog, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express Rivalry, Shawn Michaels learns from Ted DiBiase, and you see an early match from 1984 with Shawn Michaels, where he was pretty much a jobber at that early point of his career. You see a quick little match with the Blade Runners, and the Blade Runners, for those who don't know, that's when the Ultimate Warrior, before he was Ultimate Warrior, and Sting, before he was really Sting, they were together as a tag team. You see like one quick little match with those two in this. One Man Gang, Terry Bam Bam Gordy, bunch of other stuff. So, again, interesting to watch. Of a time period that I didn't live in, but it was interesting to watch that. Goldberg, the Ultimate Collection, which I like Goldberg. To be perfectly honest, what I would have preferred as I was watching this is, I'm not saying anyone else would. I'm speaking for myself. I'm not saying this would sell DVDs. This is what I would have liked. Is to see the streak, his undefeated streak from beginning to end. I know there was like this big number, like 170 some, but you could tell they exaggerated. He didn't really do that. But at least show all the tapes from Nitro or such. Yeah, you just say, well, it'd just be a lot of jobber matches. But I think it'd be fun to watch the streak again. And I will say, I believe it's on, well, not really on YouTube, but kinda. There's a guy who I think is actually subscribed to me, actually. Asia Extreme Infinity. I've seen him comment once in a while on my stuff, and he actually has a playlist of Goldberg the Streak. And some are, I guess, deleted or private videos, but playlist he made, which I'll probably sit down and watch sometime. Or who knows, maybe try to get some DVD-Rs and do that, but it would have been nice to see the entire thing. But what they have here is, maybe it'd be too much, and I understand why, but at the same time, it's what I would have preferred if you don't call it the Ultimate Collection. But it's called the Ultimate Collection because it does have a bunch of his WCW stuff, his first match against Hugh Morris, match against the Barbarian, Steve Montgomery McMichael, Raven, and then the bigger guys, Scott Hall, winning the championship against Hulk Hogan, stuff like Steen, Diamond Dallas Page, The Giant, Kevin Nash, where he lost it because Scott Hall had like a stun gun on him, which was pretty stupid. Then against Ric Flair, rematch with Kevin Nash, Sid, which those were pretty pointless matches, to be honest, with him and Sid. Scott Steiner, a Chronic, which was a 2-on-1 handicap match. Just some, yeah. Showed the later parts of WCW, which were not that great. And then also his stuff in WWE, which was the third disc. Versus The Rock at Backlash, versus Christian and Steel Cage match, versus Chris Jericho at Bad Blood, when he was in the Elimination Chamber at SummerSlam, versus Triple H at Unforgiven, Mark Henry, Batista, also his WrestleMania match with Brock Lesnar, Triple H at Survivor Series. So you definitely do get a lot of Goldberg in this, and it's the only DVD with Goldberg. Again, all you get is a bunch of matches. I would prefer to see the streak. Like, I would prefer a DVD that shows his entire streak from beginning to when he was undefeated. Maybe have like a volume 1 and then volume 2, you know, go into his other stuff. But and also there's no documentary on it. There's no interviews with Goldberg. So Goldberg himself, who I think pretty much right now he wants to stay away from wrestling. He had no input on the DVD, and there's really no interview segments. It just once in a while you get a brief, you know, a narrator detailing what was going on at the time, and that's all you get. So there's no documentary or anything, and no words from Goldberg, which that's a knock against it. But again, this is the only thing with Goldberg. And you definitely get quite a bit of his WWE run. So, there you go with that. And the only reason I got this, because this was very, very cheap. And I do mean extremely cheap. And Bending the Rules with Edge. Because I saw this once before. I was curious to see it again. And it was very, very cheap. Like less than $1. And Bending the Rules, I wanted to watch this again, and to be honest, Edge, A.T. Adam Copeland, he's not bad. He's not a bad actor at all. He actually has a good charisma to him. And this is his first time acting in a movie, and I think he should get more jobs. The only problem I have with the film is it's PG-13. To be honest, it should have just been R. And there's really no action in the movie. I mean, it looks like an action comedy, but it's more of a comedy and less of an action film. There's really no action in it, so that's the second big problem with it. Is that it's PG-13, so it's a little bit too... Sometimes I almost want to say too kid-friendly, but that's not really the right term. But at the same time, I think it should just been an R-rated film. I mean, hell, he's called the Rated R Superstar. And there's no action. You get a little scuffle with Jamie Kennedy and this woman, and a little shootout at the end, which isn't much, and should have been a lot. Should have had some action. I mean, it's fucking WWE Presents. Of course, maybe it does make sense because there's really no action in WWE product anyway. And then I did get 2 movies, so it's not just wrestling. Again, these were really cheap, so I had to grab them. One was No Mercy. This might be my favorite Richard Gere film, because I'm trying to think of the other films Richard Gere had done, and this might be my favorite one. No Mercy with Richard Gere and Kim Basinger. If you wonder what I'm doing, I'm getting some tape off. But forget who directed this, and the sticker, of course, is blocking it. But I remember this being pretty good. I only had this on VHS, so why not get the DVD? Only has a trailer on it, but even still has a little slip thing. And this is at the pawn shop, the one pawn shop around here. But got this pretty cheap. And then Freezer. This is a film that was on my favorite films of 2014. I enjoyed the film. At least some people didn't care for the plot twist at the end. I didn't mind it. And overall, I like the idea. A guy who's put into this big old freezer, and they think he's one guy, and that there's this missing money, and where is it, and we're going to hold you here until you either freeze to death or you tell us where the money is. And then some little plot twists and turns, which I'm not going to get into. But I enjoyed it. I thought Dylan McDermott, who I liked as an actor, I thought he did a really good job. I liked the premise of it. It's a very short film. It's 80 minutes at most. So it went at a quick enough pace for me. I liked the little twists and turns that I had. And overall, I liked it. I liked Freezer. It gets a bad rap, especially on IMDb. It gets a bad rap from people, but I liked it. Has little features, Freezer behind it all, interviews with actor Dylan McDermott, actor Peter Facinelli, and director Michael Solomon. But yeah, Freezer. I liked the film. And overall, that is my Blu-ray DVD update. The stuff I showed you. Here we go. Twist it around. Right here. And then hopefully the Super Mario Bros. DVD will be coming soon. And also 2 books. Who knows, maybe when they all come in I'll do a little update showing that. Maybe that'll be the next update. As for reviews, I don't know if I'll upload this before or after, but I know I want to review these 2 sometime. Again, this might be uploaded after I review these or before I review these, I don't know. And then after that will be before or after, again, Horror Dracula and Dracula AD 1972. And then I still have a bunch of stuff other than that. After that, I still have 3 other movies that David wanted me to review: City of Lost Children, Jason and the Argonauts, and The Vampire Lovers. And I still got a bunch of stuff over there to get to, which I'll wait until I get caught up with this. But until then, thanks for watching, take care, and we will see you later.